Living on Purpose in Pursuit of Racial Justice. He's a 2023 candidate for New York City Council. Also joining us is our very own Reverend Al Sharpton, host of MSNBC's Politics Nation. Great to have you gentlemen here.
Thank you.
Mr. Salam, that tweet blew up for understandable reasons. What was going through your head? What did you think when you saw the news about Trump's indictment?
You know, I got to tell you, I was looking for this quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. because I thought it was so appropriate how he mentioned that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Back in 1989, we're talking about almost 34 years ago, you know, the spike wheels of justice ran over us. And much of it was predicated by what Donald Trump did by taking out that full-page ad. That ad was written, I should say it was placed in the papers 2 weeks after we were accused. We weren't given the presumption of innocence. They looked at the color of our skin and judged us by it, and not the content of our character. And the challenge in that is having to live through that all of those decades. Even still now, we still have those indelible scars. The beautiful thing about it is that we get an opportunity to almost have all of the experience that we have gone through be something that we've grown through in order to be able to show up today.
How long were you incarcerated?
7 years. Close to 7 years.
Rev, I mean, you're a New York City fixture, and Donald Trump has been a New York City fixture, and the two of you are
quite different fixture.
It's a big category fixture. Right. You know, one of the things that struck me today is thinking about this is, if Donald Trump had never gotten into politics, he'd never been elected president. If we were sitting here in 2023 and there was a headline that said Donald Trump charged by Manhattan DA for business fraud, it wouldn't be like super shocking. No one would say, oh, no, that Donald Trump, there's no way. His reputation for skirting the law in New York has been notorious for literally decades.
No doubt about it. But I think that what was so alarming to me is that the few of us activists, Yusef and I was just talking about, that stood up for the Central Park Five. One of the Five's mother came to me, and I believed her. She said my son didn't do it. They coerced him into confessions. He did 13 years, Corey Weiss. And I think that people, when they look at Yusef now as eloquent as he is, they forget they were young boys, suffered. They went to jail. Can you imagine being in jail, knowing you didn't do what you're in jail for, and someone calling for your death?
One of the lines that folks in conservative right-wing media and Fox and other places have been saying to their viewers, looking at the camera, and they say, if they could do this to Donald Trump, they could do this to you. Wow. Right? The idea is like, and I'm just curious how, given your experience, how that hits your ears to hear folks say, if they could do it to Donald Trump, they could do it to you.
You know, justice has always eluded Black and brown people, even to this day. You know, I sit on the board of the Innocence Project, and one of the most interesting things that I see is that DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, has helped free over hundreds of people. And yet, when we were found...
Serious crimes.
I mean, it's very serious crimes. One person was in there for 40 plus years. When we were found innocent 13 years after. And Donald Trump went on to say they had to be guilty of something. And I think that was the sentiment in America, that negative stain that is still here, that thing that plagues us in the justice system, that thing where we're constantly saying, where is the justice for us?
After that ad, so I want to just make clear for this, folks who have not followed this, he's never apologized. He's never said, I got this wrong and I'm sorry, and I shouldn't have put that out.
He doubled down. He doubled down. He said that the city should not settle with them. They shouldn't do anything.
Because they have to be guilty of something.
And the thing that was striking to me is, Yusef is very spiritual as I am as a minister. Tuesday, when he's arraigned, is the 55th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King. Okay. And here is Yusef Salaam quoting Dr. King. And I think many of us in the movement believed what Dr. King believed, and that is you will reap what you sow. And on King's assassination day, I was talking to Dr. King's son, Martin Luther King III, he will be arraigned. And Yusef and the other four will see him walk in the building they were arraigned in many years later.
I know you have a relationship with Alvin Bragg. He is one of a number of prosecutors around the country who ran as reformers, right? And you see this Soros-backed tag. And it's true, Soros has given money to the campaign